James Ernest of the Gruen Truth Radio Network here with former NFL star Ray Austin. And we're wanting to find more out about the fan-controlled football league. So, Ray, how did all this get started?
Oh, wow, man. First of all, I want to thank you for having me, by the way, and then hello to all your listeners. You got a bunch of crazy guys got together, and we are trying to build something that's never been built before. One of our co-founders a couple of years ago had an idea of building his own fan-controlled minor league baseball team, and our CEO, Sohrab Faroudi, he actually owned an arena football team, and he wanted to turn it into an actual fan-controlled football team. I was actually done playing football with the Chicago Bears and in Chicago, and I had developed an app that allowed players or fans to call plays with their mobile device. Long story short, we all got together with from a former teammate of mine, Tony Parrish, and we created we bought an indoor football team called the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles. We allowed the fans to literally run this entire organization. We allowed the fans to pick the name. They picked the logo, they picked the location, they picked the coaches, they actually even picked the players and even called plays on the field live.
I was disappointed. I voted for Brian Smith.
Oh, you did, really? You know what? And I like Brian. Brian was great, and it was and to kind of get on that, we actually did live interviews for the fans, so the fans could see the different types of coaches that we were going to have coaching our team. So that's what made this thing so great. It showed that not only could fans not only call plays in a live game, but they also could run an organization and make strong quality of decisions. And we were able to be 6-11. We had the third highest scoring offense in the league, and our quarterback, which our fans chose, was Rookie of the Year. So it was an awesome experience. But from that, we learned that again our fans could run an actual football team. So we are now creating our own league, the Fan Control Football League. So we're going to allow our fans to create the next 7 teams, and we're going to have an 18 league, bringing the Screaming Eagles in the league, but allowing our fans to develop those same 7 teams just like they did with the Screaming Eagles.
So the way I understand it, there are going to be one spot for the games?
Yeah. So we are very close to making that decision. It's looking very well that we'll be going West Coast to Las Vegas. But that might change, but that's where it's looking at right now, and we're looking to instead of having multiple stadiums around the country, how about having one center location where we have our own warehouse that's an interactive warehouse where all of our teams will play, and it's almost, instead of having a stadium, having kind of like a studio audience, because we're not all of our fans are going to be in the crowd, but also out back at home playing on their mobile devices, playing on their laptops, and still being able to see the game.
So it sounds similar to the Big Three model, except for instead of kind of that traveling, it's just the one central location.
Exactly. We're talking about like a live mat, like a PlayStation in a box. Pretty much.
That does sound pretty cool.
Literally, you know what I'm saying? You're able to watch live players being at home, selecting plays, and being a part and being engaged with a team that you've been engaged with the entire week. I'll be the commissioner of the league, and one of my jobs, or let's say tasks, is keeping the fans engaged with all the different teams, so they're understanding what the teams are doing on a weekly basis. Roster picks, who's getting cut, who they need to trade, who got hurt, who got injured, who got in trouble over the week that we might have to get rid of. Intangibles, things like play calling, going over the roster, going over different types of plays, and also being able to talk to former players to get that inside understanding on football, but also how an actual team is organized.
So why indoor?
You know what? Think about it. I mean, the outdoor game is great. Don't get me wrong, but indoor just has that little bit more of that intimacy. It's so fast, it's so in your face, and it's such a small area, and we love that. That's one of the great things about it, because we want the fans to be able to engage with a lot of scoring, and instead of a 3-hour game like the outside game, we're making some changes, and one of them is making the games a little shorter to an hour, so that we can have our fans play more games and our teams play more games as well.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir on that one about indoor. How I mentioned Brian, because I used to work with him with the Northern Kentucky Nightmare, the Northern Kentucky River Monsters, and then a couple of his other coaches ended up moving on to the Northern Kentucky Nightmare. So, yeah, I know what you mean. It's an exciting game. We had Jared Lorenzen just chucking the ball up and down the field. I mean, it was ridiculous how fast he can do that.
And just to say a small thing about Brian. Brian did an excellent job at the meetings. We were able to videotape, which, first of all, I give just 100% credit for Brian and all the coaches that actually did that, because it was never been done before. You're doing a live interview. You don't know who's watching this interview. You don't know what the questions are going to be. And Brian held himself very, very well. I was very high on Brian, and he to me, I thought would have been a great pick. So I was very impressed by him.
So with the new team, with me and 7 of them, obviously going to start the coaching process again, the player selections, the logos, all that stuff. Will they be running simultaneously, the votes, or are they going to go Team A goes all the way through, Team B goes all the way through, or is it going to be all of them are picking logos, and then the next week all of them are picking coaches, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we're gonna bring everything out, one by one. But and that's great that you just said that, because what we're doing now, we're starting to create content about building the league. We want our fans from the bottom all the way to the top, to the executive side, helping us build the league. So right now, we're going over, talking about our policies, our rules and regulations on what the team and the structure of the league should be. So we have a lot of these things already concreted and a really good foundation from what we did last year. But we want our fans a decision. We want their understanding of how would you run this team if it was yours. One of a really great. It almost was like an experiment, but I won't mention the name. Actually, I will, because you probably know what happened. But there was Greg Hardy's agent reached out to us in the middle of the season and saw a lot of the exposure that we were getting, and Greg wanted to kind of reignite his NFL career. And I know you probably know. I don't know if your fans know, but Greg Hardy, the Dallas Cowboys, All-Pro, probably one of the best players at his time, got in a little domestic trouble. Not a little, but a lot of
trouble. A little. You were so nice to him.
And it pushed. I don't want to. I know he's not here to defend himself, so I hate to get out here, but we all saw what was there. But
yeah, I don't want to get on his side. Yeah.
Yeah, his agents reached out to us, and he wanted to come play for us, and a lot of us had a lot of mixed feelings about it. We all knew what happened, and we said. At this point, we said, you know what? Let's put it up to the fans and see what happens. Because that's what we were trying to create this whole time anyway. And so it was probably one of the most nerve-wracking things that I've ever done and never been a part of, because I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. And we were getting, on one side we were getting people saying, oh my gosh, man, it's just football. Let the guy play. It was over. It's indoor football. Leave him alone. And then on the other end, you had people saying they were going to protest our team if you guys let this guy play on your team. You had people sending in pictures. So you had different sides of it, and of course you see what happened. 49% chose that, 51% chose that he didn't make it. 49% lost, and that right there was an executive decision that NFL, NBA, MLB teams have to make on a daily basis. What happens if this player gets a DUI? What happens if this player gets in a domestic assault? What happens if this guy's fighting dogs? Whatever. These are executive decisions that we have put our own fans in, and they came out with a great answer, and something that they were all comfortable with, and we were all comfortable with, and that's kind of what we want. We want the fans from the beginning to the end of this thing, from the day one of the teams all the teams walk out on the stadium when we're playing. We want the fans to be a part of everything and help us build this league together.
Excellent. So that way, instead of, how sometimes the expression feel ownership, no, they really will have ownership through different things like what are the tokens about?
Yes, the fan token. The fan token is our power. That is that's how you will be able to move and navigate through this whole ecosystem. And the more fan tokens that you own, the more power in the league that you'll have. So more decisions you will be able to make. I mean, how cool would it be if, let's just say, Dave, you had way more fan tokens than I did, and you got a text, hey James, you're about to call the third play. You and only you. And just based off of your fan token. So that's kind of what we're trying to create. It's basically our currency of the league, and hopefully one day this will be the currency of sports altogether.
Obviously you send them a text first, making sure they're not working or something, right?
Right. Or you missed your chance to call the play, Dave. No. But yeah, that of course, yeah, we'd definitely be engaged, and you know that your time was coming up. But yes, that's our fan token is what's going to run the league. That is the currency of the league. That is your power in all the decisions that you can make when these huge decisions come up. So that's basically what that is.
So it sounds like a way to revolutionize and change sports for the better.
Absolutely. Putting it in the hands of the fans and just kind of breaking down that wall. If you think about all major sports, there's such a huge, wall from the executives and the players and the fans. There are decisions made every day that you guys will never, fans never get a chance to say, well, I wish I had something to say about that. And if you bring up a great experience that actually happened, I am a former University of Tennessee ball, and actually I would play with the Bears, and Greg Schiano was my defensive back coach. And so when that whole situation went down with the fans basically boycotted having a coach being hired, it changed the way sports has been done. That has never been done in history. So it shows you that fans do have a say-so, and they can, if they want to input, they should be heard. And so that's what we're trying to create.
So, will speaking of fan, with the acronym Fan Access Network, how important will that be to your organization, to the league?
It'll be huge. We want to pull from all networks, but we want to open this up to everything because, again, like I said, the fan token that we have now is just for this league, but we're wanting this to be. We basically want to be the Bitcoin of sports. We want to have the access to all kinds of networks and all kinds of networks adapting our fan token to sports.
So it sounds like, literally every aspect of the team they're voting on, they're having that input.
100%, James.
So there's nothing that's off limits, like if they put out a weird name or anything like that.
That's funny you said that, because we had a press conference when we had the Screaming Eagles before they were named the Screaming Eagles. One of our co-founders got up, Patrick Dees, and was like, "Hey man, we'll call this whatever you guys want to call it. If you want to call it Team McTeam Face, we're going to call it Team McTeam Face." And do you know the first name that came up in the vote? And we were also possibly going to be called the Storming Mormons. I actually thought that was kind of cool, but some people didn't think that was cool. And so that's that. Whatever logo design would have came up, whatever name would have came up, that's what we were going to go with. So we have full confidence that the fans would choose something they'd be proud of.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that actually sounded like a perfectly good name. It sounded empowering to that group.
How awesome would that be to have like a strong, muscle-bound, more,
Exactly.
I thought it would have been cool. That's just me. But I still like the Screaming Eagles. I like that.
Oh, yeah, it's a very nice one. Because there's some type of military background to that, isn't there?
Yeah, they're the first 101st parachuter troop that saved, that era from D-Day. And so that was like a huge deal. So I don't know. I think it was like the city of the Salt Lake City, the people in that area just was like, boom, this is what I want to call. And I guess once the kid got out there, it hit, and people just loved it. So I was actually proud of it. My dad's I'm a military brat. My dad was a drill sergeant, so anything wrapped around military, I was all for it.
Definitely. I mean, it was great how they voted for it, how they were so involved. And like you said, I mean, it ended up turning out the right way. Even if it wouldn't have, you guys, would have followed through with it. I always thought maybe the mailman, since it's in Utah,
yeah. But it's just so awesome about this is, just to rewind all the way back to the beginning of this, our founders, the five of us never even knew each other. So we all had the same idea but never knew each other, and we all created this together. And then, during the season, I'm having these weekly conversations with our fans, and I got fans in Australia, we got fans in Turkey and UK, and it's just to know that we've been in 100 different countries, all caring about a team in Salt Lake City, Utah, was amazing to me. And we were able to start to recreate these football friendships. And I think you are, just like me and every other guy that plays football, it's a fraternity, it's a frat, you feel like you're a part of something, and I think that's the main reason why we all play this game and love this game so much. If you talk to any ex-football player, what do they always say they miss the most? It's not the tackling, the touchdowns, and the money, maybe the money, but but it's always going to be, man, I miss my brothers, I miss the locker room, and that's the type of thing that we're able to kind of bring into this, and I want to make sure that that's authentic between all the teams and all the fans and all the friends and everything. So,
are any of the timetables out there currently, the tryouts or when the season starts, anything like that?
Not yet. We've got some. When I tell you, James, we've got some awesome news coming out. Some amazing news with some partnerships that we have been working on. Right now, the founders, we've all been out on the road trips. I think Grant Cohen, our VP of Digital, is in London right now speaking at a conference. I know Saurabh is in LA right now speaking at a conference tonight. March 11th, I'll be at the NFLPA speaking to those guys about this as well. So right now we're just trying to get the word out there. We're still on our road trip, and we're trying to still put all the foundation of this thing out. But we'll have those things coming out really, really soon.
With it being indoor or arena ball, are there any special rules that the fans need to know about before they go into the game?
Oh yeah, they will. Next question.
Okay, so that's one of those two time. Okay, cool. Good.
No, but this is it. We have some really cool changes, and I think people are going to love it. And one of them I already told you, instead of 3 hours, we're trying to, shorten the game so we can have a lot more fun, and a lot more plays and a lot more experiences through the evening. So that's why we're shortening the game. But we are gonna, we still, again, we're wanting the input from the fans. And a reason I'm saying that is, think about, there's two plays that come to mind when I say that. The Super Bowl catch that was called a touchdown, and then last year's catch with Des Bryant. Now, when you think about that, you people are still deciding we're trying to figure out what the hell is a catch. So that's the type of input we want with our fans. Does the fans want to see defensive backs? Bump coverage? Can they get contact down the field? Stuff like that. We want the fans to tell us what they want to do. And staying in line with the authentic, being authentic and genuine to football, but also just asking them, hey man, how can we tweak this to make this a better excitement, entertainment for you to watch?
I just for the players' sake, I hope they don't vote for lingerie.
No, nothing like that. Nothing goofy. We don't, like I said, we want this to be awesome. We want this to be football. We don't want this to be a distraction. We're not wanting this to be a distraction. We want people to take this seriously.
Exactly.
You got to think, at the end of the day, there's $1 million on the table, and I think people want to know. People are going to be taking this serious because of that. Exactly.
It's a major industry. Football.
Absolutely.
Exactly. No, I just throw that one out there because how there's a league with that already is their gimmick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. So it sounds like same thing, like the roster, number of players, is that still to be determined, or is that kind of set at like about 20?
Yeah, about 18 to 20. Yep, on the rosters. Yep, you're about right.
Excellent. Let's see. So tell us some of the people, like you said, they've all been working hard. Who would you like to thank for their help and support so far?
Oh man, I can't even. I don't even know where to start. I mean, number one, I just would just send a shout out to all the founders, Soul Rock Fruity, Grand Cohen, Patrick D, Vivic Jed. I mean, it's great to be a part of guys that think and work like you do. That's the one thing about football you miss. You just miss that hard working team ethic, and I appreciate that. That's the thing that we have at the top. But we have such a great advisory board, from Andy Dolan, with the former CEO of 49ers, Manish Jha, the former GM of NFL Mobile, Jeff Nigirov, I think I'm saying his name right. He's the co-founder of Ethereum, helping us with our fans. So, I mean, we've got a huge advisory board that has just been. We've actually just put the commissioner of the SIAC conference, which is one of the top HBCU conferences. We've added him at our advisory board as well, and so we'll have a lot of get a chance to definitely be a part of that conference, and hopefully pull some good talent from that conference. But yeah, I'm just to be honest with you, I'm just so happy about the people, like the fans that are getting involved and really taking this up, like really getting behind us. They that have been following us from the start. Christian and Jesse and Rob and B and Dot. These guys know who they are. I'm calling their names out, but these are guys that have been embedded in this from day one, and that's the type of guys and the type of people that we're looking for.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to say, same here with the Grueling Truth. We are very excited.
And you too, MJ. I ain't going to forget about you, JB. You help us get the word out, bro.
Exactly. Because we had you all on originally with the Screaming Eagles a year.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, so we're definitely all about that. I hope Mike wasn't too scrutinizing with his questions. He can be a little intense at points.
Man, it's all good. I mean, you got to answer, though. You got to answer the tough ones and all. I mean, the easy ones and the tough ones. But, it's, like I said, we're trying to be, that's the whole point of this whole Build the League. And this, we want to be transparent. We want people to see us doing and working and seeing it from the, from the bottom all the way up to the top. When we walk out them damn tunnels and we hit that first game.
Excellent. So before I let you go, I'll need your social media, website stuff that so fans can find you. And
okay. I thought you said Social Security. I was
no,
Social Security number 4, man. But you can follow me, Ray Austin 36, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all the same. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. I'm just trying to spread the word. So looking for good people to help us spread this word. You can also go to FCFL.io, and that's our website. Check it out. Check out the white paper. Really dig deep into that. See what we've been doing. Check out the fan token. Look at our advisory board. We've got a couple of cool videos on there, so you can really see it for yourself. I think that's the hardest thing. People can hear hear us talk about it, but once you truly see it for yourself, you'll be like, "Now that's pretty damn cool." So check us out. FCFL.io. That's our website. And again, Ray Austin 36. All my social media, and hope to hear from anybody.